Howdy. Welcome to Meals with Moses. This is my diabetic journey, so come along. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, I was diagnosed a little over a year ago. I weighed 420 pounds. I'm down to 291. My A1C was 13.1. I'm down to 4.9. And my glucose reading was 734. My average now is 96. So I'm going to take you on some journey with me to go over the things I did. I'm not a doctor or a dietitian or anything like that. This is just what I did to control mine and give you ideas on how maybe to help control yours. The first thing we're going to do is essential kitchen utensils. I feel these are something you must have to get measurements right, to count carbs and control your diabetes. The first thing is measuring spoons. These are essential when you're making recipes to get the exact measurements of what, because if it calls for 2 tablespoons, you can measure out exactly 2 tablespoons and you don't have to try and guess and eyeball what 2 tablespoons are. Because this will change your carb and your calorie count in your recipes if you don't follow the exact measurements. The second thing is measuring cups. Same thing. You can measure out portion controls in these, but these are essential for measuring what you put in a recipe and how much. Because if you're adding stuff that has carbs, if you use flour or sugar or anything like that, this will give you exact measurements and make your recipes and your carb count even closer. You need a set of knives, good set of knives. These aren't very expensive. They're not the cheapest, but they're not the most expensive. But if you do any chopping and stuff, it's nice to really have a good set of knives. Now this is something you don't really have to have. It's a cheese grater. It's got different blades. You can take this off and you can change out the blades. These just pop out. They got different blades for grating, for slicing, for making julienne stuff. Really easy, and they're not expensive. Make stuff really quick to go through. It's pretty handy. And the most essential thing is this scale. Weighing out your portions. I mean, you can measure out a cup in one of these, but it's not as accurate as using a scale and setting it on grams. This one measures different things. You just hit the button and turn it on, and then you can set your unit of measure. I use grams because grams are really accurate. So if your serving size is a cup or a cup and a half, you can look that up and change out to grams. And then you just set a bowl on top of this, whatever you want. And if you hit the button there that you turn it on with, it'll set it to 0, so it takes the weight of whatever you got setting on it off. Then you can put in your portion and you'll get your exact measurement on your scale. I think these are the most important thing, because trying to guess what your portion size is and how much a cup or 2 cups or a cup and a half or is just too hard. This makes it so much easier. They're not expensive. I think I bought this one off online for like $10. But this is a really handy thing. I use this all the time. Measuring out my portions. And I think that's one of the reasons I've been able to keep my sugar down, is because I do follow the portion and serving sizes. And the last thing I got, this is not something you have to do, it's something I did. I made a weekly menu. I have different recipes that I go by. I got carried away. I laminated all mine. That way if you spill anything on them, you can wipe them off. But these have all the cooking information, even has nutrition about calories and carbs on them. But I set this up, I go through, pick out of all my recipes what I want to make for the week, and then I put them in this book of my weekly menu. And that way, when I buy everything, I got all my recipes that I bought stuff for in here. I can go through and pick out whichever one I want to make for that night. I say it's not essential, it's just something I do, but it helped me keep track of what I'm buying and what I'm eating, because everything's right here. So that's just some of the things. I mean, you'll need other items in the kitchen, your mixing bowls, your cutting boards, spices. Spices are something you want to get. I probably have 40 that go into recipes. It helps bring your flavor profile up in all the recipes and taste. And as you make these recipes and experiment with cooking, you can mix and match some spices. There's a lot of things that I add to recipes that aren't in them. But spices will keep you from being bored with eating the same old stuff over and over again. I try and make a different meal every night. I have for probably 5 or 6 months now. I have a combination of probably 380 recipes. And later on in our other videos, we'll be sharing those of making them and having sides and other things with them and give you a total calorie and a carb count on the whole meal, and just show you how I put stuff together, and hopefully that will help your journey, as this is an ongoing battle. Basically, diabetes, I'm finding out, is not a disease you can cure, but it's a disease you can control. But basically, it's a lifestyle change. So watch for my other videos that are coming up, Meals with Moses, and hope this was helpful. Thank you.